I must be a masochist. Monday. There's this trainee, Sherer. There's work to do, but she's gone home. I'm fucked off because a firm like mine needs efficiency. I stay late myself to get it done. Tuesday, she comes in, I lay into her. Tell her she's wasting clients' money. I feel for her. Because she's quite fit. Wednesday. She's in first thing. Here it is, hope it's all right. And I smile because I want to see if she'll blush. And with this big grin on my face, I tear it up right in front of her eyes. She bursts into tears.
I've always been a bit of a nobody. Always taken things too much to heart, I guess.
So what you need to know, if you really want to understand, is something about power. Because 2 days later, I'm fucking this girl. Sarah is the one I'm fucking when my wife calls to say she's had a baby girl.
Until I was 12 or 13, I had all these cuddly toys. And one day I came back and my mum said that she'd put them all in a trunk in the cupboard. I never tried to get them out. When Dawn was first in the hospital, I went to get them. Only the trunk was full of postcards and files, and I was just looking for something to do. Because, as Jan always said, that was the whole problem.
Not to say she's gone into labour, but to say that she's actually had it in the back of the ambulance. Because nothing's gone to plan. But lying in bed with Sarah, my wife on the end of the phone, not perfect. It's those moments when everything's going to change. Fucking around with other women, getting shit-faced after work, these things just have to stop. It's Friday, not even 8, everyone's going to be at the Grapes. I ring, say, get champagne, I'll be there in half an hour. This isn't with Sarah now. She saw things differently, obviously.
I used to joke that my daughter was born weighing 8 stone, because Dawn was about 8 stone when I met her.
This feeling is sublime, because having a kid isn't winning a case or pulling some trainee. Having a kid separates the men from the boys, and I've done it, and this is the moment I proved myself.
I'm not blaming anyone, but the last few years have been, well, pissed up the wall, really. And then I met Jan, and things were going really good. She was a bit older, and quite early she wanted me to meet Dawn. And right from that very first meeting, we got on like a house on fire. And there were times when I did think that I was making a difference. Dawn was getting into quite a lot of trouble. Drink, which I understand a bit about, and Jan said drugs. Well, I didn't think so. She'd been at this party and I got a text because she'd been quite sick, and I went to get her, and we'd have crept in like we did sometimes, only Dawn was really out of it, so I just picked her up and I was carrying her upstairs to bed. Only Jan turned on the light and saw us. I suppose it was the image, really, of me with a baby in my arms.
It's almost midnight when I get to the hospital. When I get into the room, my wife's asleep. Now, our baby girl is in her arms, wrapped in a towel, sitting on her stomach like a child god. Words start falling out of me. Nothing's quite enough, though, because it's all promises. She doesn't know that everything I tell her will come true. Except this one thing. This powerful thing I've already done. I tell her about this girl in the road on the way to the hospital.
Friday. And there's another party. But Jan's grounded her. But she's still in the bathroom putting on her makeup. Jan and I aren't really talking this whole week. But I just wanted to be part of the decision. And I told her that. Our relationship was strategic. I mean, I thought we did love each other. It's just we both loved Dawn the most. You know, certain things became pretty clear. She thought that I'd failed as a father and that I'd been no help to either of them, and she even said that Dawn had been using me to get at her, and that somehow I'd been irrelevant to it all. There are some things that you just don't do. I didn't have much time, but enough. Schoolwork and boyfriends. But I was just looking for one word. Page after page. Nothing. No Adam. Not even the nickname that she used to call me. I even started looking for Dad. I knew that was ridiculous. I don't think I've been that angry since before I met Jan. I just sat there on the edge of the bed. Dawn was saying some pretty awful things. I wasn't very clear. She just looked straight in my face and said, "I hate you." And I said, "I fucking hate you." And she ended up just running out of the house.
I know I'd been drinking, but my head felt clear. Adrenaline sharpens your reflexes anyway, so to get you out of danger, not into it.
She was upset, and I wanted her to be upset. There were still hours after that. She had lots of time to calm down.
The fact is, she ran into the road in the dark. I didn't see her.
And that was the awful night, of course.
Sounds always louder than it should be. Even when you have a scrape or the smallest bump, I was still on a high. Because even though I'd hit someone, I hadn't crashed. There was no one around. I pulled over, gave myself 10 minutes to decide. This couldn't be taken back, and either I was getting caught or I wasn't. I had responsibilities now. I had a daughter, and how do you grow up if your dad's in prison? What start is that?
We got the call from the ambulance about midnight.
Sitting there with my baby in my arms, I knew I'd made the right choice.
It was pretty bad.
This was the proof. That I'd do anything for her, live with anything, take anything on my shoulders.
We knew pretty quickly that things probably wouldn't get much better.
To be really powerful, sometimes you need to make a sacrifice.
I just sat there, on the end of the bed, watched over her. It was a peaceful time for me.
Your whole life becomes about keeping this creature alive. Which is why I find it hard to understand if what they say is right. I don't think I could.
I'm a very passive person. I was always waiting for someone else to fix the problem. It took me a long time to realise that I was finally being given the chance to do something.
It's taken them 3 months to work it out. And I don't know how she did this if she was so badly hurt, but she took a photograph on her phone.
It all went fine. You just have to stop the air going in. And I just used my weight. There were police and stuff eventually, but I think they knew that I wasn't dangerous. I don't remember if Jan was there. I'd say goodbye to Dawn from the both of us. Apparently they've got the person who hit her. Some drunk driver. Turns out Dawn had taken a photo. Part of registration number. Which was a shame. Because there'd have been a chance then. If he'd have phoned the ambulance.
They picked me up at work. Probably for the best. Short version. I left a girl for dead because my daughter was more important. Her name's Alice, by the way. I did everything I could.
I'm the boy with the bubble gun. The boy with the bubble gun. I'm the boy with the bubble gun. I'm the boy with the bubble gun. If songs could kill, if songs could for you kill, this one's for you.